Hey, I'm Tutorial Phil. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a runway and collection review of Gucci Spring Summer 2018, which are coming to stores now, and many of the items are available for pre-order. It's kind of similar to the one I did for Burberry in my last video, which was Christopher Bailey's last runway collection. However, those items won't really be hitting stores until August, so whereas this are items you could pretty much buy now and in the next couple of weeks or so. And I'm specifically doing this because I wasn't too impressed with Fall Winter 2018. I felt like it was much of the same. There were pieces that I really liked in Spring Summer 2018 that I felt I really need to go look at it myself, and most likely I'll at least get a few things. I've looked through the site Gucci.com, and you can of course do so yourself, but there's quite a few items, so I thought I'd kind of curate some of them for you and let you know what are my picks. This is one of the show pieces that you probably saw in some of the campaigns and on Instagram as well. This is the sequin sweater with Snow White, and this is $5,200. It's extremely expensive, and it has Magnetismo in the back, which was a theme in the Spring Summer 2018 collection. But of course you're paying for the work, because I believe this is all hand beaded. I mean, to get the illustration right, which is used only with sequins, it's gonna require hours and hours of work. And I noticed with some of these that have really limited sizing, it could just be because they're not sure if they're gonna make more, or it could be in stores only for some of the sizing. I mean, this sweater it's pretty, it's beautiful, it's pretty much a work of art. Honestly, if I did ever get this, it would be hanging in my closet, kind of on show, maybe with a clear box. But I figure I start this off with this. If this wasn't $5,200, maybe I may consider it getting it to collect it. I'm not sure if I would ever wear it, but it is really cool, I think. And like I said, it's a showpiece. It was, I think, one of their final looks too during the runway. Something a little bit more wearable, I would say, is the same illustration, except this is just a knit. So it's a wool knit sweater. It's less than half the price. Still expensive for a sweater, so it's $19.80, and all of these prices are in USD, as you can see. So these are to the United States. So similar illustration, but with a different background. It has Magnetismo in the back as well, and the color of the sweater is kind of a muted bluish teal. This one has a bit more size available. And I think this is the other sweater that I'm featuring. This was used in the runway and in the videos, in the promos. So it has like a crest of a griffin, and then these green leaves, maybe olive branches. And then there's just some speckled kind of beige dots in this red sweater. And this is $14.50, so of the three sweaters I featured, this is the least expensive. And it's cool that the graphic goes to the back, which helps justify the high price point, because if it's just a graphic in the front, I really don't think it would be worth $14.50. And that's the thing with how I feel with many of Gucci's items. They're already at a pretty high price point, so when I'm looking at sweaters or t-shirts that don't have a graphic in the background, I just feel like they're overpriced. Even if the version with a graphic in the back's like 100 or 200 more than the t-shirt version with just a graphic in the front, I'd honestly rather pay that extra money to have the clothing item be interesting in the front and in the back. So this is one of my first, what I really like, and I'm considering pre-order so that they can actually get it into my store, because I wear an extra small and usually they don't make too much of that. And in Boston right now, there's actually quite a few people like fashionistas who do wear extra small, so it's become increasingly harder to get my hands on that size. This has that Sega font that they licensed from Sega, but instead of the Gucci with the Y, it's spelled correctly. And it kind of has this, I think they call it like a raglan sleeve or shoulder, so the shoulder seam is actually in front rather than at the top, or where you would normally see it here. This is all cotton. It's $880. It's expensive, but for Gucci and the detail work, I think it's priced right in terms of their brand. And I really like the stripe on the sleeve here. This is what they're doing with many pre-spring 2018 items. So it's in that very geometric font. And I think without this stripe though, I would feel like the $880 is overpriced. But this stripe on the side, I think really adds to the design. And the back has the same chevron. Again, I just talked about how I like the back to have some interest detailing as well. It doesn't have to be as graphic as the front, but I do like some of the design motif to carry over to the back usually. So this one, I believe I checked on the French website. They do make a 44, but for some reason on the US website they only have 46. So like I said, I'm probably gonna go into the store maybe this or next weekend and inquire about this because I'm really interested in this. I'm not 100% if it will work for my stature, I guess is the best way to say it. But I really do love the design, and I do hope that it does work out for me. So this is definitely one of my top picks. It's called the bowling shirt with Gucci patch. This is also one of my favorite items. However, there are other versions of this that I probably am leaning towards as opposed to this one. So this is using the Gucci invite stamp. This is what they use for the invites if you were lucky enough to be invited to the runway show. And this is in silk, which is why this is $1,200. But when you compare to Louis Vuitton, it's still slightly less than Louis Vuitton, or maybe around the same. Like the Fragment Hawaiian shirt, basically that's what this kind of is, that I got, I believe it was around $800, but that was in viscose, not silk. What I really like about this is the color, I think works well with the hints of red and the faded pattern with the Gucci invite. And like I was just saying, I like when there's a detailing in the back. So in the front you get the red piping around the collar and lapel, as well as the pocket and the sleeves. I think that's very elegant, and on the back it has a nice bold graphic that I think is balanced really well. So here you see him carrying the Gucci, the Sega font, the pouch, which I'll get to later. Here's the back in more detail. So it's 100% silk, like I was saying. And this is $1,200. These are the shorts that would go with it. I figured I'd just show you if you are interested in getting a pair because they do have both. I wouldn't spend $980 on this. I do know it's silk, but if you're, if you really want the complete look, here's how it is. So if you're really in love with this print and the silk fabric, then it's a reason to get the entire set. And then this was a jacket, is a version that they featured on the runway. I believe on the runway they had a red colored one. This, I think it's pretty cool, and for $1,900, I don't think it's that bad. It's not made out of silk, so for the material you could say it's expensive, but for the amount of design and being able to get like a jacket for it, it's not too bad. And they call it a net jacket with the Magnetismo stripe, which you can see here in different colors, that goes around the arm like an armband and across the chest. And then they have this cool diamond shape, which you see with some monogram designs, and they spelled out Gucci with it. And they have the corresponding shorts too, which I didn't feature in this video, but again, it would work as a set if you really like this aesthetic. This one, I don't know if I would pre-order, but I would definitely be interested in trying on if they happen to get it in. And I like that, you know, it says Gucci, but it's not immediately recognizable. It's not one of their standard logos. So it's kind of nice that, okay, if people want to get to know a little bit more, they know that it is Gucci, but it's not screaming Gucci. And here's back to the invite stamp, and this is another one of my top items. So for the Gucci stamp motif, I think this is probably my top item. So this is a denim jacket, and it's unlined, made in Italy. This one, so the problem with this one, the sizing is really limited on the US website. This one I do know for sure that on the French website they do make it in 44, and it was available for pre-order. But again, I don't know why the US site doesn't, so I may need to contact my sales associate soon to see if I can get a size 44 in. Similar to the bowling shirt, the silk one that I showed you, it has the same graphic on the back. It's just that this is a denim jacket and it's long sleeve and it's made out of cotton. So this is $19.80, same price as the net jacket I just showed you, the Magnetismo, the blue one. But I definitely prefer this one. So if I actually, this one I want to zoom in a little bit. If you take a closer look at the print, they actually vary between each, so it's not the same exact stamp. You can see how it's faded differently, so there may be, you know, 3 or 5 differently faded ones that is all over, but I do like that it's not exact cookie cutter, same exact print for every version of this. So it's just a little plus that kind of keeps you interested the more you wear it. So this is one of my top picks for Spring Summer 2018 for the men's collection. And again, another invite stamp. This is the formal jacket. This is more than I would pay for a jacket. It's $42.80, and the reason why it's so expensive is because it's silk. So this isn't wool, it's silk, which has that really nice sheen. I do prefer this sheen over the cotton, but as you can see, there's a huge price difference. And this is double-breasted. And when it comes in the silk, it seems a little bit more yellow, but it also seems more consistent, the background color. Whereas the denim jacket that I was showing you earlier, it's not as vibrant, and there seems to be some other kind of washing with the cotton as well. And of course, this also comes with the pant. It's $2,200. It's also in silk. So you kind of, I mean, it's a suit, so you kind of need to buy both. So if you were to combine both, it's over $6,000. Pretty expensive, but it is silk. And I think this is the last invite stamp ready to wear that I'm featuring. This isn't my top pick, but I just wanted to show you another iteration of the invite stamp. So this is in a hoodie, but it's not, there's no front zipper, which I really would prefer. And there's no front kangaroo pocket either, so it's just like a pullover with a hoodie. Has the same background, or the graphic in the back. And it is $17.80. So it's $200 less than the denim jacket, but I much prefer the denim jacket over this hoodie. But if you like a more casual look, then I think this would work better. And then now a couple of the Gucci items with the Y, G-U-C-C-Y. This has the metal foil kind of color, the stars here, and then with the Gucci print. So as you can see, I already selected, this one does have extra small. And the pre-order, originally when I first looked at this, it said March 5th, but now it's been pushed out 10 days. I don't know if that means they just had a delay with the shipment, or there's been enough pre-orders that it's moving the delivery dates back. So this is a standard hoodie just like the one I showed you before this. There's no front zipper and there's no front pocket. And it is $13.80. So it's less than the Gucci invite print though, so $400 less. It also comes in a t-shirt version, so this would be more of my top pick because I do really like this nostalgic Sega font treatment, and I think I would wear this under a blazer, like a normal blazer. I think this has a nice sheen to it, but you could just wear it out by itself as well. And this is $5.90, which is pretty comparable to their t-shirt prices. It's not that bad. It's expensive for a t-shirt, but for a Gucci t-shirt that has this much detailing, and you know, from a limited edition standpoint, it's not too bad. As you can see, it's like a foil print, so it is metallic, which is nice. It's definitely not minimal. It's kind of in your face, but I think you would want to pair this with just plain jeans, or like I was saying, just like a navy or black jacket. This is another t-shirt. It has the stamp or the graphic that was in the back of the invite in the front. So I do like this. I wouldn't necessarily call it my top pick. I mean, I would be interested in seeing it, but previously in this video I talked about the back not having any kind of graphic, so that bugs me a little bit for $550. Compared to the one before this, which had the stars in the back, so this had the print all over, it's only $40 more expensive, so that's less than 10%. So that's why I would much rather have this one be $5.90, but have something extend to the back of the t-shirt. Okay, so this was originally my #1 piece to get for Spring Summer 2018. This is the Gucci print portfolio. So this has the Sega font treatment and it has a Gucci spelled with a Y. You can see the stars more pronounced here, and then you see these decorations that are from books, like from vintage books on the bindings. And that's really what this is based out of, because this is like an accordion folded document case holder, but on the side it's meant to look like a book that you would take off a library shelf, which has the Magnetismo motif on it. And what's a cool detail about this is that it comes with a key, because you can lock it, and the key doubles as a necklace, which is pretty cool. But my biggest gripe about this is the price for like a clutch, basically. $3,400 I think is pretty steep. That's the price of a bag. Like comparing it to Louis Vuitton, this is a price of a pretty sizable bag, even if it's in all leather. And the other thing that I don't really prefer is, I mean, I know it's meant to be an accordion fold, but if you look at all these ridgets inside, I think it's not that great for holding any small stuff, because they're gonna get stuck in these crevices, and when you fold it up, it might ruin and bend the leather in the back. So that's the problem I have with this, is that it's kind of flat, and because of all this structure, you're not gonna be able to hold anything that substantial. But then on the other hand, you probably don't want to hold any small stuff, because they're gonna get trapped in these ridges. So I'm kind of torn about this. This was originally my #1 item to get from Spring Summer 2018, but I just don't think it's super practical for me. And I have several pochettes already, not from Gucci, but I have 3 Louis Vuitton styles kind of like this, and I don't use them much, honestly. I've used them maybe 5 times in the lifetime of owning those. like in total. So like the blue Chapman one that I had, I think I only brought it out twice. But this just looks awesome as a display item. Again, I don't know if I can justify that, but we'll see. I will let you know if I do get it in or if I do get a chance to look at this in person. And I just want to quickly show you the other version of this. This is much cheaper. It's $1,100, but it's just a small pouch. But it has pretty much the same style to it. It doesn't have the binding though, where it says Magnetismo, but it does have a wrist strap. So, and it does kind of have a book title, I guess, in the inside, so not the outside. So if I really wanted to collect a leather piece with that Gucci print, this probably would be the one. And I forgot to mention that both this pouch and this clutch comes in both the black leather version as well as the white version, or I guess more of a cream. They also make this in two other styles. It's like a small sling bag, which is about $17.90, and then the Dionysus bag, which is like the women's medium size with the chain, which is $3,500. So it's $100 more than the portfolio, which is kind of crazy. Like, you're getting a full handbag and it's only $100 more than the portfolio. That's why I think it's not priced correctly. If this, so actually before I jump to that one, if this one was like $2,800, I think that would make more sense. Anyway, so this is the only shoe that I'm featuring that I may remotely be interested in. It has the Gucci invite print and it has the foldable heel. So you can kind of wear this as a slip-on, kind of like a mule or slipper, as well as a loafer with the horsebit detail as well. And this is $9.80, which is the same price as their other leather styles with this. They had a couple of necklaces which was featured on the runway, which is basically like a bolero tie. Thought it's kind of cool. Not really a must-have for me, but I do think it's kind of cool. They had this version, which is $9.95 in sterling silver, and they also had the bull version in $890, which is also in sterling silver, but I think it has a piece of turquoise on the bull's head as well. Or, well, upon closer inspection, it's probably just a glass or crystal cabochon, I think is how you pronounce it, like a polished gem. This is just something to mention. The invite also comes in a tie, so obviously lower price point. But what's interesting is that this is cotton linen. Kind of expensive for $210 because you would expect that for a silk tie, which is this one in the Gucci print with the stars. It's the same price, $210, except this is silk, which is a much more pricier material than cotton and linen. And that is it. I know I kind of rambled on, but there were quite a few items to get through. Like I was saying in the beginning, I did enjoy this collection, and especially compared with Fall/Winter 2018. That's why I'm willing to spend maybe a little bit more here, because I may not get anything from Fall/Winter 2018. And if that's an indication of what's going to show up in upcoming seasons, my relationship with Gucci could, I don't know, start dying down. Because I did not get into Gucci until Alessandro Michele joined, and I've spent so much money on Gucci since he joined. But I don't know, I think the honeymoon period might be over. I mean, time will tell. So yeah, if you got it this far, congrats. I really would like to know if you agree with me on any of these items, but also if you don't like some of these items and why. Are there items you're looking forward to with Fall/Winter 2018? And I will definitely be giving you an update, of course, if I do pre-order any of these, if I do get to try it on, and ultimately if I do end up purchasing any of these. You can be sure I'll have a haul video and a try-on video for that. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe for more videos, check me out on Instagram for the latest updates as well as exclusive content, and I hope to see you in my next video.